I think it's good. Why can't we divide by 0? Well, it actually goes back to this idea of why every time you have something times 0 is equal to 0. Why? Says who? You see, when it comes to mathematics like this, this is a bit like number theory, which is something I hate last time. So it turns out, all of us should understand this. Right? So we all understand that 0 is what we call a zero additive. That means you add the 0, no matter how many times, you will still get back nothing. You still get back 0. So this is a rule, what we call an axiom, that you have to accept one. Okay? So we all understand this. And if I multiply by a to both sides, then this is what you get. And you should also agree that because this is true, this must be true. Right? And because this is true, then we also understand that there's a law. It's called a law, so nobody can prove it. It's called distributive law. So distributive law says that you can distribute in, right? So then we understand that, a times 0 is equal to a times 0 plus a times 0. Again, because this is true, and therefore this must be true. Now, then we have an equation like this. Then we understand that we can actually subtract both sides. So if I think about it this way, I subtract by a times 0 to the left, I subtract a times 0 to the right, I will get, because the same thing subtract by the same thing, you will get 0, am I right? So here, you subtract, you get 0. So then you come to the conclusion that, anything times 0 must be 0. Okay? Okay, that is kind of convincing because we all agree with this, and therefore we must agree with this. Now, and then when we agree with this, we understand that there is this multiplicative inverse means if I have a times 1 over a, I get back 1. Basically, you multiply it by nothing. Okay? So it says that if I have a multiplied by b over a, you get back b. Alright? So the multiplicative inverse. So all of us should understand this. And all of us should say that, yeah, it makes sense. Correct? So therefore, it should work for every single number. But there's only one problem. If a is 0, then we should get b. Right? Because this makes sense, and therefore this must make sense. But because we agree that this makes sense first, anything times 0 must be 0. Correct or not? Okay, now we have a problem. So is it b or is it 0? And the problem is, nobody knows. Because we agree that this must be true, and if this must be true, then it must be equal to 0. Right? But if it's equal to 0, then this is not true. But we also agree that this must be true, right? There's always such thing, right? And if this is true, then it cannot be equal to 0. Great. So, it's called undefined. Okay? So that's the one way to prove that why we cannot divide by 0.